Come closer, child, yes, sit right here. These old eyes have seen a world that you can hardly imagine, a world where faith was not something we fought over, it was something we protected together. I want to tell you a story from that time, a story that lives in my heart even now, after so many years. Our village, long ago, was small, just a handful of homes, made of mud walls and straw roofs. The mornings smelled of smoke from cooking fires, the afternoons hummed with the sound of spinning wheels, and the evenings, child, the evenings were filled with prayers. Different prayers, different voices, but all rising toward the same sky. In one part of the village stood a tiny mosque. Its white walls had cracked, its roof leaked during the rains, and its courtyard was always full of dust. Yet every dawn, before the rooster's first cry, the call to prayer would echo softly across the fields. It wasn't loud or harsh, it was gentle, like the earth whispering a blessing. A few steps away, under a giant neem tree, stood our small temple. Its bells would ring proudly after the call to prayer ended, ringing just loud enough to remind everyone that faith also lives in sound. And not far from them, on a slight hill, stood a little church made of red bricks, with a wooden door that creaked every time someone opened it. When the priest lit the candles, the warm glow would spread across the village like golden fireflies. This is how our day began, with different voices, different melodies, but a single harmony. But child, let me tell you what made our village special. We didn't just live side by side. We lived together. One morning, when I was a young girl, I saw something that shaped my heart forever. The temple priest, Pandit Sham, was sweeping the steps of the temple. At the same time, Rahim Chacha was cleaning the mosque courtyard. And suddenly, a strong gust of wind blew the dry leaves all around, mixing them together. Without saying a word, Pandit Ji walked over to the mosque and helped Rahim Chacha gather the leaves. And when the wind pushed dust toward the temple, Rahim Chacha helped sweep the temple stairs. 2 men. 2 religions. 1 act of respect. No one told them to do it. No one praised them for it. They simply believed that service is service, no matter where it is done. And then there was Christmas. Oh child, Christmas in our village was not just for the Christians. Everyone waited for that day because the little church would shine with paper stars, colored lanterns, and flowers we all picked from our gardens. The priest never asked, "What is your religion?" He only asked, "Do you want to help?" And we always said yes. The night before Christmas, I remember sitting with my mother, cutting paper stars. The Muslim girls made garlands, the Hindu boys painted the walls, and the entire village worked as one. On Christmas morning, when the church bell rang, the whole village looked like it was wrapped in hope. But let me tell you a story, a day I can never forget. It was a Friday afternoon. The mosque was full, and people were preparing for the prayer. Suddenly, dark clouds gathered and a storm began. Heavy winds blew dust everywhere. A huge branch from the neem tree fell right near the mosque entrance. People panicked. No one could enter or leave easily. Do you know who came running first? The young boys from the temple. Barefoot, drenched in rain, they lifted the branches together. Some tore their clothes trying. Some slipped on the wet mud. But not one of them stopped until the entrance was clear. Inside the mosque, the imam raised his hands and prayed for them. Later, someone asked one of the boys, "Why did you help them?" "The storm wasn't your problem." And the boy, with mud on his face and kindness in his voice, said, "Storms don't choose religion. So why should help choose?" Child, do you understand? This is the meaning of respect. This is what we are forgetting today. A few months later, the temple needed new tiles. The roof had cracked. People feared it might collapse. But the villagers were poor, no one had enough money for repairs. So what happened? The church collected donations. The mosque women stitched quilts to sell. The Hindu families cooked sweet rice and held a fundraiser. And together, we fixed the temple roof before the next rain. 3 religions. 1 purpose. one heart. And then came a day when the church was vandalized by outsiders. Not villagers, outsiders. They broke the wooden door and shattered some candles. The priest was heartbroken. He sat on the ground with tears in his eyes, holding the broken pieces. By sunset, the imam, the temple priest, and dozens of villagers stood at the church door. The imam said, "Your pain is our pain." Pundit Ji said, "A place of worship is sacred to all." And the villagers rebuilt everything with their own hands. No police were called. No speeches were made. The village repaired the church the way one repairs a home, with love, not anger. Child, today people argue about God as if God belongs to only them. But back in our time, we lived in a world where every prayer was welcomed, where every worship place was protected, where every festival was celebrated with equal joy. And do you know why? Because we believe this simple truth. Faith divides only when the heart is empty. When the heart is full, faith brings people together. I want you to carry this lesson in your life. Respect every religion. Not just with your words, but with your actions. Protect every place where someone finds peace. Never let hatred enter your heart. And remember, child, God is not found in one path. God is found in respect. God is found in love. God is found where people live with open hearts. This world will heal, the day we begin to honor each other the way our little village once did. Now go, my child, and carry this light forward. Don't let it fade.